Welcome back, guys. I have Eric, Maniac, with me,
Hello.
and we will be commentating tonight's games.
We sure will. So,
So,
John, yeah. So I don't know if you guys got into it. I had some problems with my Skype there at the end, but who do you think's gonna win?
um, I have to go with Waka, Flocka, Seagulls, just because they have much more experience.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go the same route. I mean, to be honest, I've played against Waka, and I know their leaders are amazing players, and if they're gonna pull a team back together, they're gonna do it. Those two will do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna see how well they bounce back from their last weekend when they played Ugly Girls, Get Tap Water, of course, led by Saxon. And yeah, give me your energy. Of course, they've been off for a little bit, rebuilding their team, and let's see what they bring. Like, it's pretty exciting to see these newer players play.
Yeah, I think Gino's guild is gonna have a hard time because, uh, one, like I think Honeybuns mentioned before, maybe one of you mentioned it too. We don't see them that often, and believe it or not, you actually can learn a lot from pugs. You can actually sort of get into the rhythm by just queuing pugs. At least you specifically. Maybe not the synergy as much. Maybe not like the war game strats, whatever you want to call it. But just you as a player, you can sort of get into the groove. And I just don't know. I never see them in pugs, so I don't know how they're going to be able to get into the groove going into these games. Because I don't
Yeah. I
know.
mean, if they are experienced players, it's going to come down to their leadership then. And if their leaders are up to date with what's going on, like comp wise, what they're going to expect, what they've seen out of teams, then that's going to help a lot. And I mean, Waka Flocka Seagull has, of course, Mutando and Gankerexer, and their classic players from their teams that have been around this scene for a long time. And they're not only just playing in the NWL, they're doing pugs as well, the pug mates. And the teams that are doing pug mates are usually more successful just because they have way more experience of what's going on right now in this patch, and it helps a lot.
Yeah, it's hard because I think the players that can there's only a few players that can take breaks and find a lot of success, and I don't know if Give Me Your Energy has those type of players. Like I'm thinking of players like maybe Ezron or there's a couple of other players that they can take long breaks and come back. And you give them a little bit, and they're going to get back into the rhythm, and they're going to become a top player again. And I don't know if they have any of those types of players. So the fact that they're taking long breaks, it's going to hurt them quite a bit. It's going to make things harder for them.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Well, taking these long breaks definitely doesn't help, but I mean, when they do come back, they're going to pick things up a lot faster than newer players too.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think we're just waiting for both teams to be ready, and then we'll get in some games. So uh, comp wise, what are you thinking?
Um, I think I think Waka Flocka Seagulls is going to run Arresto Druid.
Hmm.
I I think actually I think both teams are going to run Arresto Druid. I think
Yeah,
Waka Flocka Seagulls is going to run two. I think they're going to run at the same comp that Saxon runs,
yeah.
and I think I don't know what Gino Bernardi's guild is going to do. To be honest, I have no idea.
I mean, they have their most experienced players are kind of locked to certain roles, and one of them being their FC. Forgive me your energy. And I mean, he plays Resto a lot. I'm just going by what I've seen from him playing. Is he's going to play Resto, so I think that's pretty good, pretty accurate guess. And then they'll probably four heal as well. Um, just for stability wise, it's pretty rough three healing in this current meta. Can be punished quite easily.
Yeah, I think the increase in burst makes it just too hard to catch up and too hard to
Hmm.
maintain without four healers. But it looks like
Yeah,
we're getting into these games here.
yeah. This is where things start to get a little bit more exciting. They don't have to just listen to us; they can see stuff.
Yep. I don't know. We'll just have to see. This is the thing when you see teams that don't play as often, you don't. It's hard to know what to expect. You know what I mean? Well, if
Yeah,
it's a
of
team that
course. I mean,
you see a lot and they play every week, it's easier to sort of know what's coming. So
mhm.
we'll just have to see.
Yeah, because last week, the first series of Ugly Girls and Waka Flocka, Mutando actually was FCing. He wasn't playing his go-to role of shaman. I think if I'm like a betting man, I would more than likely say he's probably going to stick with shaman. I just feel that's probably his strongest role. But I mean, if they're lacking an FC and he has to step up and fill that role, then he's going to do it for sure.
And I actually don't mind that. I have nothing against FC. FCs being the lead of the team and the leader playing an FC. Because sure, you can't really take over in the sense of if you're maybe a damage, you can like if you want your team to push forward, like you can be the one that's saying like push, 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 and you can like because it's easy for people to say something, but like actions speak louder than words. So when you see the leader saying push, 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 and you see him like him physically pushing himself, it's much easier for the team to get behind that. So that's the one area that it could be hard as an FC. But here we're getting into the game here. But what it does though is if you're sitting in the back as an FC, it makes it easier for you to lead because you can just focus on everything else that's happening around you. So it's easier to notice everything and call everything out. So it has its benefits and it has its like weaknesses.
Yeah. So just jumping in, we'll start with Give Me Your Energy. We see Zirin playing Resto Shaman. Of course, we're both familiar with him. Great player, very experienced. They have Nudge playing on Druid, Mice on Hunter, Patricio playing Warrior, Ganker Extra being Monk, Unplugged. Wow, that's a pretty good Merc pickup, I'm gonna say. Minizi on Priest, Pwemp on Druid as well. Berg Zerka, I'm not too familiar with them, playing Hunter, and Mutandu on Shaman.
Yeah, Berg is he plays in the 20 bracket. He's the GM of the best level 20 guild on the US named Nagas with Attitudes. It's a Horde level 20 guild on Bleeding Hollow. And I think he's the moderator on Twink Info for the 20 forum. So
yeah,
I guess he has an he's experienced in I guess twinking. I don't know
yeah,
how much experience he has in that.
Sorry, that was Waka's team, not Give Me Your Energy. I messed that up. But yeah, I mean, just looking at their team and what they're running, that's a pretty strong team, man. It's definitely strong.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. So is Pwemp Resto or is it Boomkin? I actually don't know.
I'm not sure either. Once the game starts, I'll be able to tell. His spec hasn't come up, but I see Godzilla is Resto. That I can see.
Let me see. I can figure this out really quick. Nudge is balanced and Pwemp is Resto. Okay. I just had a load of the square sheet. That's weird that it doesn't show it. Okay, let's see. Both Boomkins grabbing Zerker. The usual.
I'm actually having problems with this camera.
Restager is trying to sneak by. Whew, Restager and Boomkin just walked right past each other. One of them actually saw the other one. He's trying to find him in stealth. Pwemp's trying to find Godzilla, but he can't find him. So far, there's been no kills landed. But Waka Flocka Seagulls taking a bit of hit, but Lax goes down for Gino Bernardi's killed. Look for Waka Flocka Seagulls to make a huge push here, knowing that the Boomkin is down. Horsak's taking a bit of damage here. I'm actually surprised at how little pressure is being put out by both teams.
Yeah, it seems to be more of a stalemate than anything right now.
But you can see, and I think this comes down to experience. You can see even though it's a stalemate, Waka Flocka Seagulls has a positioning advantage. They've managed to slowly push Gino's team back towards their graveyard. So even though the
Yeah.
kills, neither team's really landed many kills, you can tell which team is more dominant here.
Yeah, I mean they're controlling the midfield, which gives their FC a good chance to at least pick up the flag. But
Yeah,
their
Pump's
hunter
getting
has
it out
been
right here.
chasing Pump, but and Easy's there to help heal him up, and he's going to be fine. They may actually just turn around and kill him if they notice.
Yeah, the hunter's gonna die
But
here.
both monks getting really low. Ferocious and Gankrax are they're still chasing them into the line, and there's that Chaos Bolt that we got to be looking at. I think just
But
looking at what we
Godzilla
see, yeah,
actually got it back to the base. Wow.
yeah. Godzilla, of course, he's up in front on top of Graveyard. So if they do end up wiping them, and it looks like they are right now, getting a lot of kills, and this is just gonna snowball in. We'll see what they send to try and return, or if they're just gonna try and wait for more stacks and just control in front of the Graveyard until then.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be waiting on stacks here.
Yeah, because they haven't broken anyone off to chase yet. They're just killing.
Yeah, you can see Godzilla is sitting on top of the graveyard, waiting for his team to res. Let's see if they're gonna wait on top of the graveyard, try to get all 10 if people are gonna start dropping down. You can see the Brewmaster just drop down. I think that's a big mistake here.
Yeah, and
I think Waka Flocka's gonna just kill him here. And they're gonna have to wait for him. That was the worst class that could have dropped.
Yeah, their hunter actually ran around the other side of the health hut and was alone. I mean, they need to die to regroup. That's one thing, but I mean, right now it's just about grouping up, getting 10, looking to see if you can push out.
Mm.
But I think Waka has played against Destruction Warlocks. They know what that entails, and if he's not using focus targets for his Chaos Bolts, they're going to predict it every time and just shield. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's surprisingly not many kills going out now. But
the monk does roll in.
Gino's guild, yeah, he's gonna start pushing her.
Yeah, we'll see if they drop in after him to follow.
See both hunters coming up ramp now, Berg and Mice coming in. Casino was forced to drop into the graveyard. I don't agree with that decision. I think he could have stood up there and his team could have actually turned around and shot the hunters down.
Yeah, so now that I mean, what Waka's going to be looking to do is have those hunters pressure the back, whether it be the hunters in the back or the FC, and just keep shooting from up top, doing damage. And down below is just going to be controlled by them as well.
Yeah, you can look. Maybe Waka's Warrior Beamkin might try to, because you can see Godzilla standing on the outside of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they land a kill on this Brewmaster or something right here, Ferocious, they might look to charge in and maybe get a kill here. Because without the Brewmaster, I think they could actually go right on him and not be punished. We'll see though.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, just having one melee down below, they're better off leaving him down there, just for the sheer fact that if he does res, he's going to be up there to contest them even more if they do want to push on the FC. So there's a Chaos Bolt on the Patricio, but he's just going to run back and get fully healed. So, I mean,
Berg was knocked down. He was killed. Mice is forced to retreat. Yeah,
and that just comes down to positioning. They just need to be in contact with their healers down below, saying, I'm at edge, heal me, or, just being wary of their health. But that's the thing with the Warlock, if they get bolted, they're almost dead at that point.
Yeah. And then if they can flag slow, it can be hard to sort of get out if you're already too far in.
Yeah. Looks like they're still training into Gankrax, so they're really trying to get down that monk. And what happens if that monk dies? They're really lacking the slows department. They can almost roll out of their graveyard onto the FC. So that's the thing with containing in graveyard so close. They have the ability to use their mobility to get into the FC's range. And if stacks hit, he's going to be really slow. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, look for a push on look for a push on Gino Bernardi's FC right here. Both hunters are back. He's on the outside of the fence. Warrior charge is perfect. I like this decision.
Oh, he fell off.
That sucks. Fell off. That's disappointing.
Godzilla's about to drop, though. He does drop the flag instead of dying. And, it's Korzak. He's dropping really low as well, though. They're just landing kills. I think we're going to see a return really soon.
Yeah.
Godzilla's low as well. So the Warrior does get up now. He just needs to be in line of sight of his healers. But I mean, they're kind of stabilizing. They were able to body res a couple of their players, but their Brewmaster is dead. Hunters are up top. Bertuccio's just taking damage. Nudge is trying to get dots out on everything he can.
Yeah, Warrior Destruction and Godzilla
Yep.
for a kill right here.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, and there's the return. So Wump is going to look to run back now. And Lax is breaking off the side as well. If this comes down to a race, he will beat him there. It's just a matter if his team can catch up and help him after he repicks. Yeah. Oh, they're rolling onto Pump as well. I mean, this is the problem with controlling the graveyard. If you're not in the position to send your FC back fast enough, they can actually land a counter kill. But it looks like his team's actually surrounding him and protecting him well. But we're going to be looking at Lax getting the repick, and it's just a matter of, are their hunters on back on D yet? And both of them are looking to go up ramp.
Yeah, I actually think that one of them should go up tunnel. Here we go, Mice is coming up tunnel because
this is
smart. He's gonna have 7 or 8 stacks. They don't. If he goes ramp, that 100 is gonna global him. You just want to make sure that he doesn't try to just kill Pump if you leave him alone.
Yeah.
So it's good that 100 went with him.
Oh, Godzilla's coming up tunnel as well now. The Lax gets the pick. He's gonna run into Berg.
Yeah, Berg's gonna once he gets his aim shot off here, look for a 1-shot maybe.
Yeah, he's dropping low.
He actually line sighted it, but he's gonna get one here. Yeah, it's gonna be the first cap.
He's dead. That's the problem with the Boomkin picking, not the Resto Druid. So we'll look at a cap there for Waka Flocka Seagulls. And even during all this, they are still winning mid. So
yeah, there's not gonna be no quick cap because both Druids are down now for give me your energy.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at that change of the exchange of events. What happened there? They waited on the stack game. Their 200s were able to put enough pressure onto the FC to get a kill. I mean, the problem with Give Me Your Energy is not the fact they're running a Destruction Warlock. It's the fact they're not getting kills off the Destruction Warlock, which is the hugest benefit of having one. Other than that, they're almost like a dead class. They get globaled so fast nowadays.
Yeah, look for a repeat right here, where they're just going to push them straight into the graveyard. Godzilla's going to be able to get a pick here.
Yeah, he's going to get a pick on the contested, and I mean, they can just keep their hunters in mid. They don't need to send them back yet. Just hold here. Once he picks, just be ready for him to cross, because he crossed for free last time.
Yeah, exactly. Like once they see him cross, once he goes down ramp, goes graveyard, the hunter should just turn around, at least get him to just go back into the base. Or if he wants to walk into you, both your hunters can just kill him. But last time, I don't even think they saw him.
Yeah, Give Me Your Energy just needs to not drop out of graveyard until they're fully grouped. So they're actually breaking both hunters with the FC. They're going to look to return without stacks. Godzilla does commit. He's going to go up tunnel, up to roof, and try and do some jukes. And this is what he's known for. He's a smart player.
Yeah, look for maybe Gino's team can get out of the graveyard now that it's a 7v9, so they'll definitely have an advantage.
If they take advantage of this, I think they can. The 7v9 is going to be strong in their favor. I mean, they just need to roll into those healers, and they're lacking so much burst that it should be a lot easier than they think. Their Brewmaster's actually... Yeah, Nudge is getting pressured.
Oh, no,
yeah, their Boomkin and their Hunter are actually on him, but now the Hunter's going to get counter-killed by Nudge. Their Boomkin's still pushing ramp, and the Brewmaster as well. I don't like sending the Brewmaster. I mean, the problem with that is now they have no slows, so his team's slowed. They can't make pushes into the back line to kill healers, and it's the way they're going to get land kills.
Godzilla actually making it pretty far. That's actually pretty impressive.
And he does try. And it is picked by Lax. Let's see if he can make it to his team. I think he's going to die here. Yeah, he's dead. And that's going to be a repick. A return by Benizi. And Ferocious, the monk, their Brewmaster is actually in the flag room, but there's nothing he can do against a Resto Druid FC. He could just sit there and spam heal himself.
Yeah, I don't agree.
If I was Pump right now, I would just leave him. Just go for the next flag. I mean, you're just wasting your time and giving them time to help. But I mean, that monk being there is really beneficial for Waka Flocka Seagulls. He's such a strong presence in mid, just having slows on everything. So right now you're going to see the front line of Waka Flocka Seagulls just running amok in the back line Give Me Your Energy.
Yeah, of course that's going to go down here. Now they have no front line. Watch the healers just get pummeled here. Now that the front line is no longer there. I healed Arena first one to go down here. Now watch the Mystery is probably going to go down. He went down. Yeah, GMYE is just going to get completely wiped here. And this Brewmaster is literally sitting AFK on the Alliance cap. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he might know what's going on. He's waiting for Godzilla. He might try and push with him. But honestly, there's no point in running back into mid at this point. They're just sitting in graveyard getting killed over and over again. You'd have Godzilla pick and just run with them and try and slow off the hunters if they do chase and try and get Godzilla back to your base. So both hunters from Waka Flocka realize he's picked. They're going to go contest. I don't know if they completely know that the Brewmaster is with him, but Pump is going to pick as well.
Yeah, he's going to get a free pick here. He's going to be able to come right up this tunnel uncontested, as both of the hunters for GMYE are held in the graveyard.
Yeah, so Godzilla does drop it to his Brewmaster, who doesn't pick it just yet. Looks like they're just going to go for the fight. Godzilla's going to go repick and leave his Brewmaster to die.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure Rested Druid Brewmaster would have won that 2v2.
So Plump's going to go ramp. One hunter's going to go with him, and the other hunter's going to go tunnel. I think Godzilla's going to pick drop down, go roof, and try and do some sneaky plays. He may go straight out, but as soon as he sees the other Resto Druid and the hunter there, I think he's going to have to commit roof. And yeah, it looks like he's going up right now.
Yeah, Mice is coming right behind him. Gonna try to push him off here.
And back in mid, I mean they're really playing 9v7 and they're still holding them in the graveyard. Looks like they're pushing out a little bit now, and I mean their melee starting to get in the back line.
Right up this tunnel. He's actually making it pretty far. He actually juked all three of them.
Yeah, I mean that comes down to classic Godzilla plays. He does drop the flag to heal himself up, and he does repick. But I mean, he should have just kept running.
I don't agree with that because he was already ahead of both of the hunters. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
that looks like
had nowhere to go.
There. Yeah.
But they would have just walked into the other team at the graveyard. That's a tough game to be NFC in. There's not much that he could have done. I actually thought Godzilla did a good job that game.
Yeah, I mean, you can only do so much in his position. His team just getting killed over and over again. And again, it comes down to experience, not just with your players, but your leaders. There's not much they could really have done differently. I think what they should do is maybe swap out the Warlock for another more mid-centric class that doesn't die as easily, or at least sync up better with the Chaos Bolts. And I mean, it comes down to if they don't play their class in Pugs, they're not going to build this relationship or rapport with each other where they can sync really well.
Yeah, Nudge completely dominating the damage and killing blows. Unplugged, the mercenary coming in and topping healing for Waka Flocka Seagulls.
Yeah, and that comes down to you have one priest focusing on a lot of damage and one priest focusing on putting out all those bubbles and protecting burst. And again, we talked about the recruiting of mercenaries and them getting him. I mean, this I would be happy. I mean, I don't know who else I'd want out of the mercenary pool to play priest for me.
Yeah, that's a great pickup. I mean, you're not going to get anyone better for a mercenary.
No.
Most of the best priests in the bracket are on a team. We're not playing.
Yeah, that's just due to the fact that a lot of these teams want to run too. And I mean, you have an experienced, really, really well-known player that's subbing in with your team. And who knows, if Waka presses him, maybe they can get him more and more if that's what the role they're looking to fill in their team.
Yeah, let's see if either team makes any switches. I have my doubts that Waka Flocka Seagulls is going to be making any switches between this game, because especially when you start to find rhythm, you want to try to snowball it. You want to try to build on it. You don't want to, Because when you make changes, a lot of times it's because you feel like you sort of have to. Like there is no rhythm being built. You're so far behind that you want to like make a change. It's sort of like on sports teams where they try to, fire their GM or fire the head coach or try to trade players because they want to they realize there's no hope, so they want to switch stuff up. But I think Waka Flocka should stick with what they have now because it's the first time that they've managed to sort of get back into things. But I don't see them switching any players next game. I'm not sure what Gino's going to do, though. He might completely switch up his team. We'll have to see. Maybe switch out the Destro Warlock for something different.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I know Gino likes running Affliction. I have a feeling that Warlock is one of his main players because he did it in the Twin Cup as well.
Now let's see if both teams are ready. Just a few more minutes here, and then we'll get into the second game.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a very dominating performance by Waka Flocka there. And, I mean, that's the Waka Flocka we've known to perform at that level. And if you look at their team, I see a lot of names that, I mean, if I was on the opposing team, I'd be worried about.
Yeah, it's also it's hard though to sometimes play with player. The problem I see with mercenaries is maybe you play with players that you sort of like or that you're sort of building synergy with, but the unfortunate reality of things is a lot of times those players end up going their separate way, and I think that's going to be the case with Unplugged.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, we're not him. We don't know what he's going to do. But as far as the NWL goes, it's nice to see older and more well-known players coming back and helping teams out and filling in roles. And I'm sure they're just happy to play games because when it all comes down to it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I like the most about Unplugged. Like the guy seems to always be having fun. He seems to always be having a good time, and I gotta respect that. It's hard though. Between games, there's not much that you can really do when there's such a difference between teams. Like I honestly I don't think there's much that Gino Bernardi can do with his team to completely switch this, like what happened last game, into their favor. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. I mean, he does have like some pretty well-known players, and he has a really good Bristol Druid FC. And I mean, they just need to give him more space to work, and that requires them to live longer in mid. And I mean, when people coordinate burst, it's very very powerful. And having a warlock, I mean, if they coordinate well, they can land kills, and we know that from experience because we played with your dad in the last Twin Cup, and we were able to land a lot of like instant kills on people just syncing well. And I mean, they can still do it now. It's just you need to protect that warlock in mid, and they're having troubles, and it comes down to syncing. And I mean, if you look at their team, they're kind of on different targets, and they need to play more, I guess you could say. They need to get experience doing things together as a team.
So did you have camera problems last game?
Yeah, my camera, like, it doesn't like switch point of view, like it doesn't chase targets, so I have to manually like move it around. Like I turned on the auto follow or whatever it is, so like when I do select a target, it'll point towards them. But say I'm in midfield and they're in the flag room, if I click on them, it just faces towards them, but it's still in mid. Like it doesn't switch to a point of view. I'm not too sure how to fix it.
Yeah. Well, the way you fix that is you put in the macro that Honeybuns has.
Yeah, I did that. It still didn't.
That's the point of that macro.
Yeah.
I had the same problem until he gave it to me.
Okay, I'll try it again.
Yeah, I know. When I copy and pasted it from Curse, it had a space in it, which made it so that it didn't actually go in. So make sure that it's not going into /say, because that's what happened to me the first time I tried to put it in.
No, there's no space. It's okay. It just took me like a minute at the start to get out of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's so hard to get out of the tunnel when you have that camera.
You press spacebar too many times, you get stuck on the roof, and then
yeah.
You're good.
I had that problem, and I commentated, and I did the stream for the very first NWL game. It was awful. Like it was like the worst commentated like 19 game in 19 history, and it's because I couldn't get out of the tunnel because of the camera.
Yeah.
So the whole game, I was just like going off of like the health bars to just sort of say what's happening in the score. I couldn't actually see anything.
Yeah. So I've just got word that Gino is swapping around a lot of his players. So they're going to be looking to change things up, and I think that's a good call on their part. We'll see what they do. They may run like four healer comp with more emphasis on protecting their FC. So maybe looking to just give up mid and try and play base to base, because the one time they did get Godzilla back to their base, the problem is they just couldn't get out of the graveyard. They were just bottlenecked there. But if they set up some sort of protection around their FC, who knows how long he can live for. And when it gets really high stacks, your chances of returning are extremely high, especially with just, you can do it with one or two people, let alone just committing the right people to do the job.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to recruit someone or mercenary someone in that's vocal. Like that's the big thing that they need. I didn't feel like they were on the same page that last game.
They may have a vocal person. It's just a matter they need to trust in them and listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like, I don't know. They had people jumping off the graveyard, going one way, going the other. So it seemed like they were like on completely different pages. Like even when Godzilla dropped the flag and the Brewmaster thought he was dropping it to him, so he like ran at the flag. I don't think they knew like what each other wanted. And I think that's a lack of communication.
Yeah, I think what they did there is when the Brewmaster did go for the flag, they tried to get as many people, because the Hunter went, Brewmaster, some of their players died trying to get across. They kind of just ran past the FC and just went straight to help Godzilla. But I think if they coordinated as a team, they could have pushed onto the FC and got a kill, because that high of stacks, 8 stacks, whatever exactly it was. But I mean, if the other team is retreating, a lot of the times you're key for openings at the highest. Just due to the fact that if you get a slow on one of their healers and they outrun him, I mean, he's out of the situation at that point.
Yeah, I'm going through my friends list to try to predict who they're going to be subbing in based on who's online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure because I never know anymore. Can you? Like, I know you're not supposed to sub players from other teams, but I almost feel like teams have been doing that. So
If a player is registered to a team, they cannot play for another team.
hasn't that happened? I know you're not supposed to have that happen, but hasn't that happened?
Not too sure if it has or hasn't. We've been trying to keep an eye on it, but I mean, some people were unsure of the rules, but it's just to prevent people from guild hopping, I guess you could say, playing for two teams and not clarifying which one they're on, and kind of leaving one high and dry. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's the mercenaries, which are supposed to be. You're supposed to tell before the game starts if you're using a mercenary or not, and which one you're using and where they are.
Mm-hmm. So to like claim them before another team does, sort of thing. Right. So we're gonna be getting into the second game here.
Yeah. My camera did fix.
Nice.
Yeah. It just came down to the fact that it wasn't working properly.
Here we go. So Korzak's team looks like they're running a basic comp. They're just running a Mistweaver instead of a Resto Shaman. Outside of that, it looks pretty.
Yeah, they're running double Hunter, double Priest, Shaman, Mistweaver, Boomkin, Resto Druid, Brewmaster Monk. I mean, that's one of your standard comps right now, and I mean against single Boomkin, the Mistweaver does have the potential to heal better than Resto Shaman, just because their burst healing is really, really strong. But they lose mobility and the ability to purge, shear, dispel in general. It's a good trade if you have the right person on the Mistweaver, but at the same time, losing a Shaman kind of hurts because when you're running so many casters, you can punish them really hard with a surge. Interrupt, wind shear. But yeah, I'm excited to see how they do, and I'm looking forward to see if they're stronger in mid and can hold longer. But you're looking at a really experienced team with some of the best players in the bracket on it against a rather, not to say a newer team, but some newer players on the team.
Yeah, like Siren, he's never done Wargames before. This is actually his first day doing Wargames, this expansion. So
it's good for him. I'm glad they're giving people a chance that haven't played before. So I think one of the things they need to keep in mind is just looking at who stacks what and where on each team. Looking at Give Me Your Energies team, they're all pretty much high HP stacking stats. But if you look at Waka, Flocka, Seagulls, some of their healers are sacrificing stamina just for pure spell power. So it looks like it's just Nudge dies immediately. Korzak dies with a counter kill.
Right here. Yeah.
We'll see if Korzak goes for a body res or Nudge, but Godzilla's going up tunnel to go pick right now. Plump is going up ramp, so Godzilla's going to pick faster, and he may get it back depending if they break their hunters in mid or not. But yeah, so Nudge does get a body. Korzak had to wait for the res, so again, it's just inexperience looting bodies, but they're being pushed back at the same time.
Lax right now here, huge burst in the Lax.
Yeah, it was good of him to displace. That was really, really well done. But the problem is his healers are in the front, standing there healing, and if you look at their front line, they're just leaving them. And You're going to see some kills on healers really soon. See if Waka keys up on this.
Yeah, Waka's completely pushed GMYE into their graveyard. I think
Yeah,
there's gonna be a switch into their healers soon.
Yeah, I think they've already started doing it. I mean, what happened there is their healers didn't get the memo of their front line falling back, and it comes down to coordination. Obviously, there's not much space to fall back into, but yeah. But Mice actually did break to contest Godzilla on top of Tunnel there. We'll see if Godzilla tries to run past. Right now, Mice is kind of on one side, and if he did want to break, he'd run towards his ramp, but Mice is doing a good job trying to predict where he's going.
Yeah, all of GMYE is going down here.
Yeah, they need to just regroup, not drop, wait for res. I think Godzilla just dropped the flag, but
he might be trying to bait them up, I think.
Yeah, Double Hunter's broken now. Nudge is coming as well. So they're committing 4 players to return this flag. If I was Godzilla, honestly, what I would do is try and hold off as long as possible. The opposing team is down 4 players, so they should have a 9v6 going on right now. There's no reason they shouldn't take advantage of this and push out.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this 4-man push to take down a single FC, but
yeah, I mean, Godzilla, being the player he is, as soon as he's about to die, he's going to drop the flag and just try and re-stealth. He's just wasting their time and try and go for a quick cap. And looks like he does it right there. He's trying to go for the counter kill on Pwump, but he's going to die in the meantime. So.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I agree.
Yeah, he does. So. But there's not much he can do. His team should be able to push out. They are moving out of graveyard a little bit, but they just need to go all in on some healer kills right now. I think that's their strongest option. I mean, they're playing so aggressive. It's hard though, with Waka Flocka playing so aggressive. That is. Easy does actually die, and they are moving into the healer line right now. Zirin's dropping really low. He is getting healed up, but Ferocious is sitting on him, and Korzak gets another recharge. Big Keg Smash. We may look at him getting, once he gets low enough to get that execute, but I mean, they're able to keep him up. They're just spam healing.
Yeah, they got their hunters in, they're being back.
Yeah, this comes down to...
They're going to resable.
If they had double shaman there, they could have pushed up for shears on the other healers as well, which creates a ton of pressure when you're moving forward like that. It's really strong. It's harder for them to punish you when they're trying to protect their healers. But Lax was trying to get up his own tunnel to try and protect the flag, but they do swap onto him and he has to go back. And Mneezy was able to run back and res. So
Siren's just getting beasted. Siren goes down here. Look for GMYE to just get completely wiped here.
Yeah.
Broach is getting bursted. Misweaver goes down. Yeah, this is gonna be a complete wipe here.
Yeah, and it comes down to if you look at the Ganker Xer, he was just sitting in the healers, just killing whatever he wants.
Broach just goes down. Look at Ashley's probably going to be going down here.
Yeah, and Pump does actually pick, but he does have a hunter on him. Oh, but it disengaged a little bit of the wrong way. He's going to get Mutano. It's going to go up there and heal him. But they may kill the hunter here. I think it's probably a good idea. Just get him in the graveyard, get him on the res timer. He can run back and help his hunters contest against Godzilla if he wants. So, again, we're looking at Mice contesting Godzilla. Berg is still sitting in the graveyard, just getting kills. So Nudge actually breaks. They don't break both hunters. They break the Boomkin with the Resto Druid FC. Now they're sending him back as well. So they are doing 4-man commits for FC kills, and it's just come down to like how strong they feel in mid. They don't feel they're going to get punished for this.
Yeah, try to speed up the returns, I guess.
Yeah, and if you do look at Waka Flocka Seagull right now, their 4 healers are really spread out. It's going to be hard to get kills on them. But if they do catch Unplugged in the front, I mean, he a lot of the times he's using less than 2,000 health. If they just notice this, they should be able to get kills on him.
Yeah, it's crazy that Waka Flocka is actually able to maintain this, and all they have is They're 2 damage. They have
If you
their
look at
Brewmaster
Menezi
and
playing that
Warrior.
offensive priest, he's actually running in and out of the bush. I like this positioning from him. They're not even noticing him there. He's just casting heals. That penance might give him away, but he's way off to the side of his team, and he's just throwing out Shadow Word Pains. So Nudge is actually sitting in the flag room right now. Godzilla is being attacked by Berg. Mice is up there as well.
I think he's gonna look for a drop here. Reset. Drop this flag. Sees that both hunters are here. I don't think there's any.
He may go for the root run. No, he's going to drop it there, and I think he should try and get out of dodge. But I think he's going to die as soon as he drops in this flag room. Yeah, he does try and do the fake, but the other hunter was still up there.
Yeah, I mean he got mice, so didn't
Yeah,
accomplish much.
if you look at the healers on Give Me Your Energy, they're extremely grouped up in this tight clump. That's the reason they're having problems, because once you do see Pertuccio charge in, he can rend all 4 of them at the same time, like without even moving. You need to spread out to prevent.
Them all.
Yeah, you need to spread out a lot more. And again, you look at where Menezi is, Unplugged is, Zirin is, and Mutando. Like, they're extremely spread out. If one of them is going to get dove on, I guess you could call it, they're going to heal each other and not have to worry about that AoE keg smash.
Yeah, Berg just went down by Soul Berg, but Mice is here to finish him off.
Yeah. He does lose the 1v1 hunter, but Mice does get the counter kill.
That was actually pretty impressive. He almost beat both of them.
Yeah, he tried, that's for sure. Oh, it looks like Godzilla is opening on Pwemp. Looks like they were trying to have the Hunter FC, and Godzilla is going to contest the flag carry. But right now we're
to maybe push.
Watch 2 Resto Druids. That's some entertaining stuff right there. It's one for the ages. Oh, Pump's actually getting low, but now he's getting topped.
Mutando's here.
And Mutando runs up the tunnel. Yep.
Now both hunters are contained for GMYE. It looks like Waka Flocka should be able to just walk the thread across for the 3rd kill.
Berg and Mice are both in mid. They know the FC was just killed in tunnel. They're not worried about it. They know they can see with the tracking noise the other 2 hunters are there. Boomkin's in mid. They know this is a free cap. Pump's just going to run back by himself, and this is going to be a 3-0. So again, what do you think? Do you think their change actually helped, or I mean, they're still?
Yeah, it's the right direction to take your team. Especially if you're inexperienced and you don't have as much synergy. Like, the last thing you want to be doing is trying to force in a Destro lock.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the change actually helped them a little bit, but again, they came down to the fact that the other team can break 4 players. Well, 3 technically, if you don't count the rest of Druid, and your team still isn't able to push out. And it's honestly what's in front of you is a warrior, a brewmaster, and that's pretty much it for damage. I mean, they're not going to get a lot of kills on you. You need to play more aggressive at that point.
Yeah, and I think if they are, it's because you're grouped up too much. I think if you spread out, there's just no way that they can get that consistent pressure.
Yeah. No, I mean, when it comes down to committing so much to return, they may get the return, but they should be being punished in mid, but they're not, just due to how strong their healing core is right now. And I mean, you can see it the way they position, how much healing they're able to put out. I mean, they're really strong. What do you think we're going to see in the next game? You think it's going to be the same thing?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the exact same thing. I don't know how much more GMYE can switch up their comp. Maybe. I mean,
honestly, I think at this point they shouldn't really switch up their comp. They should be hindsight's 2020. They'll have to come back, and if they rewatch the games, they can see a lot of mistakes they can help improve each other on. And I think they need experience, and keeping the same players on the roles that they should be playing is probably the best option. If you need a gimmick to win, it may work once, but I mean, if you want to be a real contender, you're gonna have to build the solid foundation.
Yeah, especially if you want to use gimmicks, you got to have, and this is coming from someone that's known for using gimmicks. I always use them, and you need to have the foundation there first that can sort of get you there. Because this is the thing: if you use the gimmick at the start, they're going to know about it, and then you're not going to have it for the rest. But if you sort of have that foundation, you do the basics at the start, you can sort of wait to use the gimmick at the end. So it's like it's not something you want to sort of do from the beginning. You gotta still have the foundation.
No, yeah, it's hard to say though, because I mean, if they were, for example, if Waka Flocka was playing as Horde, a lot of the times when their healers were grouped up, imagine if their warrior was a Blood Elf and he just pops his silence. All 4 healers are going to be hit by it at the same time. I know they're not playing against Hordes, so they're not as worried as much, but it's the same thing with Keg Smash. If landslides up, it's going to hit all those clothies for 1,000 each. And then they just say, well, who do we kill first? Okay, we're going to kill them. They die.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually whisper both leaders, see if they're ready to get into the next game.
I'm not surprised to see Waka come out so strong, but I mean, that just shows how fast they can bounce back. They are playing, I mean, they're playing against other 19s, and no matter what, there's the potential for things to go wrong, but they seem to be playing really well. They're not really overextending. Their front line is definitely, you can tell, are experienced players. They're really setting the tone with Gankerex on that Brewmaster, not running the Rogue, which he's so well known for. I think he's playing extremely well right now, and I mean, that comes down, he may even be their target caller at this point, and if that's the case, I mean, you have a lot of faith in the guy. I think anybody would that's played with him.
Yeah, and I actually like it because I think having one of your core players, one of your leaders on a rogue can be difficult. Well, I think having one of your leaders on a Brewmaster is a smart decision. So I'm actually a big fan of the switch.
Yeah, it makes sense in a lot of people's eyes, but especially with Rogue not being as... The problem with Rogue is when you're focusing a lot on FC killing, Rogue is extremely strong, but you sacrifice a body in mid because once Rogue opens, they're so prone to death. They don't have a lot of utility other than the fact they can sap and ambush for 3,000 with stacks. But it's extremely strong against Hunter FCs just for the fact they can one-shot a Hunter FC with 6 stacks.
Yeah, and I'd say that's sort of an example of maybe a gimmick if you wanted to do something, maybe like I'd say like if I was gonna try something gimmicky, maybe I'd run double boomkin Hunter FC and like do that for a while, and then if I know that I'm coming against another team that's doing that, maybe I'll wait till that series and then I'll switch to Resto Druid and maybe grab a rogue and try to maybe get my flag across, maybe run a 10-man turtle on my roof or something, and then just have my rogue go one-shot their FC and do some sort of gimmick like that. But I mean, that's not something you can rely on, though, like series after series. That has to be something that you're going to wait till the last second, like, oh, okay, we need to win one more game and that's it. So let's pull it out. They're not going to see it coming.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. When you completely give up mid, the problem is the entire team is free roaming from them. So if you do turtle, aka a lot of people are calling it gauntleting now, but you do have to get your FC across mid first. And if you have no ability to protect him while he crosses, he's not going to cross. So it should just be about another minute, and then we'll be back in the games.
So, do you know who's playing next after this series? Like next weekend?
I'm not too sure. I'll have to speak to Conk about who's playing next weekend, but I do believe Ugly Girls Get Tap Water and Dark XD main team were slated to play this weekend, but it never connected.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they may try and get that going next weekend, or maybe even sometime during the week, depending on both teams' schedules, and if Conk's going to be able to allow it. But yeah, they need to play. Hey, I'm Average needs to play, and I believe Warsong Warlords needs to play as well. Of course, Warsong Warlords just played Hey, I'm Average, so they won't be playing again. Yeah, we'll have to see who's up for next weekend and what schedules are looking like. But I mean, we should be seeing some more exciting series, and I mean that's when it comes down to we want to see that stuff. An exhibition.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Pacific series. I'd like to see Ham Average against Dark XD main team.
So
That's a series that I like.
What we were talking about, it looks like they did opt to bring in a rogue.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm not sure. What do you think they're gonna do? You think they're gonna have the rogue try to help them win mid because they haven't been able to win mid, or do you think they're gonna have them try to
I
help
think
Godzilla?
if they are going to help him win mid, he's going to open on Unplugged, just to the fact that he's usually only wearing 2,000 health, sometimes even lower. So if they do get like even a Star Surge and an ambush at the same time, he will die. I guess we'll see.
I'm not sure. They're only running one hunter, so they replaced the hunter for the rogue.
But if you think about it, having 2 hunters in that last game didn't help them very much. The thing with the rogue is because he can stealth, he can get out of that graveyard if they're sitting in it.
Yeah, it's always a hard way to play though because it's like you're entering the game with the mindset that it's not gonna go well and you want to have a way out.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, and this rogue being Night Elf means he can re-stealth in combat. Just gets a shield, re-stealth, doesn't end their ambush. But we'll see. It looks like he's going to run into their team. He is looking for that druid, and they may run into each other. No, that was close. Yeah, the rogue does turn around. So Korzak charges on a gank or Xer. If you look right now, the front line of Waka Flocka Seagulls is not slowed at all. He does get a keg on them, but yeah, he's taking some serious damage. The Brewmaster, he does have to roll away, but yeah, Korzak gets swapped on. They'll probably switch. I think they're just going to keep switching back and forth between the melee. So Ferocious rolls in way forward, and he's going to get killed for that. That's just, you need to communicate with your healers at that point.
Both priests go down instantly. That's crazy. And then Misweave is down too. All three healers are down. Watch for a complete wipe here. So the rogue is on defense with the hunter.
With the hunter, yeah. And Mutando's going to go with his team to return this. They need to kill Pump right now. He is going to get out.
He's gonna make it.
Yeah, the rogue should have went down tunnel and sapped the shaman in tunnel before he opened, because the druid is going to go towards his healer. He's 9 times out of 10. The rogue hasn't opened yet. He knows there's a rogue, but he's not just going to let his shaman commit up tunnel. Once he saw the pick, he should have been closer to the healer and got a sap off, and then maybe they could have got a kill. But I mean, it comes down to experience at this point.
Yeah, this hunter's gonna go down here.
Yeah.
Berg is already on Godzilla. Godzilla's gonna drop this flag.
The rogue should be running
Berg
back
goes
to
down.
Hunter to try and
Lax is
yeah.
escorting Godzilla here.
Berg maybe
I have
with
to
the
say I
body
sort
rush.
of like this. Just because
Yeah,
something different.
Godzilla and Lax will be able to 2v2 against Hunters for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He does drop the flag repicks. I mean, this is just little things he does to try and prevent that damage coming out. Because when you don't have the flag, you don't have the stacks, the little things. Not worried about rogues coming in and repicking while he drops, so. The Pump is actually committing up ramp by him stealth. If Lax and Godzilla notice this, they may be able to just turn around and kill him. They're just going to go to roof.
Yeah, I think it's hard for them to know exactly where those hunters are.
Yeah. The rogue is there though. I mean, he should be able to kind of say, "Oh, hunter's going ramp right now," and they can see the other one coming up to roof. But Super Styling coming as well. If he saps, then they know the rogue is there, and Pump's going to play more defensive. But if they wanted to get a counter kill, having the rogue there is going to help. He may get caught out. No, he doesn't. I was lucky. But at the same time, his team is just getting destroyed in mid, and there's nothing they can do. Oh, nice shadow meld by Lax. Oh, rogue opens on Berg. Berg will die. That was a quick kill. He does get dotted. So, I mean, yeah, Pump's just sitting ramp. If the rogue, Mutando's coming now as well, but he has no way to keep in combat. So if they want, they can stealth up their boomkin and send the rogue both, get a sap on Mutando, and then go for the kill.
Yeah, I like that they're changing this up.
Yeah, I think this is one of their better options right now.
They're already winning. They're already getting what they wanted. They wanted to.
And the hunter gets across. Saber gets across as well. So Prompt's just going to go back to his team. They may look to kill Berg right here. Patricio's there as well. So I mean, their warrior's not even in mid right now. I mean, this is Gimme Your Energy's best time to push out. All they have is a brewmaster, and he's actually holding their entire team there. That's insane. All they have to do is push up and go for kills on the healers.
In Minizi, just completely standing out in front. So same with Unplugged.
Yeah, they have no fear at this point, which is really sad. Looks like Ferocious is actually dancing. I'm not too sure why. He may just feel like he's not doing anything. He's not throwing slows. He's
no, he's tossing out some barrels. He's trying to put out some major DPS here.
Godzilla, Saber due to go down. Rogue gets a kill on the hunter again. Super Styling is trying to kill him.
Yeah, Fem's gonna get this cap. Lax is gonna go down.
Yeah, so Super Styling is in on the Boomkin now. That's nice that they're. I don't know if their other nudge had to go, but I mean they have a replacement in Super Styling on their team. I noticed it at the start. I just forgot to say anything.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about having your brewmaster stand there dancing.
Yeah, I mean it gives up any sort of chance for doing anything, and I mean it was literally 4 healers and 1 brewmaster in front of your team, and your brewmaster standing there dancing. It's at least they're having fun. I hope. If I saw that, I would be a little bit upset that they're not trying to give it out there. Just keep trying. Try and learn from this. Yeah, he's just standing still, throwing barrels.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what he's doing. He might just be talking things over with his team, or maybe he's just, I guess, not caring anymore, which is not a nice thing to go through if your other teammates are trying still.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly can go down here. The hunter for GM, why he's stuck in the graveyard. The rogue's leaving now.
So the rogue needs to sap Mutando. wait for
Yeah, he
Trinket.
just did. Yeah.
And I mean, nothing else is able to get to Plump, but
That point here, maybe.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
gonna wait for Matando to get out. So he does Trinket the sap, but it's not gonna really achieve much. Godzilla's trying to cross. They're actually picking off on him like right away. He's actually dragging their entire team out of the graveyard. This is the farthest Give Me Energy's been into the field since the start of the game, though.
And
That's one
I
way
feel like
crit.
all the success that GMYE is finding is because of Godzilla. Doing the
Yeah,
best
it's
he can.
yeah, he's not gonna give up. That's one guy that's definitely gonna stick it out. I don't know. That's the first time I've seen somebody just completely give up when the game's only one cap up. Rogue picks and he's fighting Plump. Right now he's gonna try and go to tunnel. Mice is in tunnel. Yeah, I mean he's gonna die in a few seconds.
Popped
Godzilla's not
evasion
even
to try
close to
to
him.
dodge the moonfires.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly he should just drop the flag, re-stealth using his Night Elf
Mice
racial.
is gonna get him here.
Yeah, he's dead.
Second cap. Let's see if Godzilla made it. He's gonna be in the alliance base. Let's see what he can do
Yep.
here.
Mice just might say, screw this, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not even gonna go back into the mid fight. I mean, there's no point. His team's completely dominating with both hunters in mid. So Saber does actually catch Bump out of stealth, and he's just gonna root him and run.
Yeah. Both hunters are here. They're gonna
Yeah, he's
shoot him
just gonna
down.
top himself off. Yeah, but if Godzilla, if he's talking to Godzilla, Godzilla's just gonna run now. He may go commit graveyard. Bump's actually moving back to fight him because Super Stallion picked the flag.
Yeah, I mean this is brutal.
Yeah, Ferocious is trying to beeline across the field right now. Maybe he's gonna try and jump on one of the stumps so he has like a stage to dance on now. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
He might be going for a kill on Super Stallion here with the Rogue. He goes
No,
in.
he's not. He's not even
I don't think
attacking.
he used a single spell. Yeah.
No, he's just throwing barrels. And he's dead. I'm
It'll
not
be
too sure what to
interesting
say.
to see how much damage he's put out.
Yeah. What do you want to say about that? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say he's probably under 50,000.
Godzilla made it down graveyard. He's actually gone. I think both
Yeah, he's beaten the
hunters
hunters.
had no idea
Lax
what
is
the fuck
there.
was
The only
going on.
person in front of him is Mutando. Mutando's spamming Purge, but yeah, he's gonna make it back.
Yeah, I don't know what like happened there, but both hunters and both druids just like they sent 2 hunters and 2 druids back to kill him, and he walked untouched past all 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean this is first game, first play of the first game. He was able to get back to his team's graveyard, and now we're back
He's
to that
going
same
straight up
position.
tunnel. Yeah.
I like that.
But Mice is gonna catch him. I don't know if he should have dropped there. He might have had a better chance sitting there, but he got boots. Yeah, you're right. Plump's just sitting in mid. The Rogue's kind of near him, but there's nothing he can do. Lax needs to get in south and help set up on some kills, but he's just fighting in mid. Oh, it looks like Ferocious is throwing some more kegs. I mean, throwing some more barrels. He's not throwing kegs matches, that's for sure. He rolls in. Oh, he Tiger Palms. Jeez. New stuff out of this guy. I think he's probably done more damage in the last 5 seconds than he's done all game.
He's playing a mop style of Brewmaster, and mop is all about like throw barrels for 45 seconds until you get your clash up, and then clash someone in and hope for a kill, and then throw some more barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Lax goes down here. Godzilla's
Oh,
down.
Plump's almost dead as well. He's just throwing at him, but that's not going to be enough with the AGM pop. And that's going to be game. Not much to say there. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think Gino needs to have a talk with some of his players giving up at the start of the game. But, yeah. I think now we'll look at getting the winners in for a post-game interview. We can ask them
hey,
how
look
they
at
felt.
this. I don't know if you filter it by HKs. I don't know if you did that. If you filter it by HKs, you can actually see that the only kills landed by Gino's guild were the ones that they forced on roof, because Korsax, Siren, Ferocious, Ashley, Rickety, and Taiga, they all had 0 HKs, but Lax had 5 HKs, Godzilla had 4, Ubex had 4, and the Hunter had 4. Because remember when they were on that roof and they were...
Yeah, they were killing Hunters. Yeah.
There wasn't a single HK landed in mid all game long by them.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's interesting.
Let's let me whisper Matando here, see if we can get him in for a post game. Just a second here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But that was definitely a one-sided series.
Yeah, I mean, he looks to. I mean, he needs to put more emphasis on protecting Godzilla on his team. And I think running the rogue is the right idea. It gives him more potential for getting out. I mean, it's hard to say though. So it looks like we're going to be joined by Mutando and Gankerex are here.
What's up, guys?
For post game. Hey, man.
It's good.
Not much. I guess first thing you want to ask is how you guys feeling now after that game? Were you worried at all going into it?
No, we actually got people on like a half an hour early today, so it was really good compared to last weekend where we had some no-shows and I was like stressed out like crazy. So yeah, we were feeling great today. No rush.
Yeah. Did you feel like as a team you guys were clicking a lot better?
Yeah, man, the atmosphere was great. It wasn't hectic. Things got done that needed to get done, and we just played well and we played calm. It was fun.
Yeah, you guys look like a completely different team, but again, it comes down to who you're playing as well. If you feel more confidence going into the game, you're going to feel more relaxed, and it's not quite as stressful atmosphere.
Right.
But did you guys change? Did you make any major changes that maybe we didn't see that maybe you want to reveal? If not, it's okay. But I don't know. Did you have any new players or anything like that since last week?
We had a couple new players, like Berg on Hunter was a big one for us, and Mia not on Rogue was actually kind of weird. So
you seem to be doing very well though, playing Brewmaster, and I mean, me and Pizza were talking about that, having one of your vocal leaders on your team playing the Brewmaster is always a smart choice.
Yeah, me and Will, or Matando rather, went back and forth about maybe it was time for me to get off Rogue, seeing the way the meta kind of shifted towards a lot of teams not running Rogue. And for a while, we kind of tried to hold on to the Rogue dream, but we finally sat down and we're like, look, we gotta change some things up. So.
Yeah, and then also shout out to Pat, our friend from BC. I played with that guy, the guy that played Warrior for us tonight. I've known him since I was 13. He just came back to the game and started playing Warrior with us again. So shout out to Pat.
Yeah, that's always nice when you get some players that you've known for a long time to come back and play.
Yeah, it was cool. We tried to get him to make a 19 a couple times, and he'd come back for a couple days and disappear. But it looks like he might be finally back for good. So
yeah, and that's a good pre-made to get him in on too. So
yeah, man, it was good.
yeah, so at any obviously watching those games, it looked like you guys were on the advantage the entire time. You never really had a problem. Even with their FC did pick. Yeah, it's hard to say what's going to happen. But
Yeah,
did
it was,
you guys have that in mind to commit 4 players for returns, or is it just for the sheer fact you were dominating so much?
Yeah, it was definitely just because we could, to be honest. Obviously, you send both the hunters back because that's they're just mobile, and that's a great job for them. But like, since their FC was being a little crafty and we just decided we'd send our boomkin as well. Like, why not? We were able to hold mid as well. But obviously, yeah, like when you can do it is when you do it. Like against like teams where you're having like a little bit more of a back and forth fight in mid. Maybe you can't do that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed in that last game, their brewmaster is actually dancing with your team.
No,
after about 10 minutes, he had less than 15,000 damage done.
No, I didn't notice that, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think they were trying to run distraction or something. I can't say for sure, but I mean, yeah, I think you guys definitely proved your dominance in those games. It was,
we needed it. We've been hurting for a couple weeks, man. We're not used to losing, and we lost a couple of games pretty badly recently. So it was good to just get back on our feet. And you guys know Waka. We won't be in the dumps for long. We're always on the come up. So just got to get back there.
Yeah, man, just get as much practice as you can. That's really the key.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So you guys had some mercs today, by the looks of it. How do you feel they did as like joining into the team?
Dank, you want to go?
Yeah. We picked up Blueprint last minute, which is a really good score for us because he's just an amazing priest in general. But he worked really well with our team and worked really well with the comp in general. Manisi tends to run kind of low HP too, but he kind of stacked it on a little bit higher, knowing Blueprint was coming in. But he fit really well. And then we also had Patricio, who was Pat that Will just talked about before, who's kind of potentially our new warrior. But we wanted to get him in some war games before we really set him in stone. But I think everyone else was on the team, right? Except for maybe Berg.
No.
Hunter for us today. He did really well too, though. I think everybody did really well. There was no miscommunication. Everybody was on their job, doing what they were supposed to do. Pretty smooth.
That's always hard to cycle players in and out. That's always been the hardest thing for me, is finding the people that you can trust. That's probably the biggest thing, is finding people that you can trust, and then
100%, dude. Yeah.
that you can count on, because that's what it takes. If you want people to build up synergy, you want people to be there every week, you want people to listen, you have to trust them, and you have to be able to count on them, and that's always hard when you try to find new players. And the thing is, you guys are trying to replace like 1 or 2 players, and I'm in the same boat trying to find new players, and it's very difficult.
Yeah, in a community our size, like, I'm not saying we're small, but like to find someone that plays the way you want, or that will learn to play the way you want, and that you get along with, and that, like you said, like trust, like that's the biggest thing. Like I want to play with people that I enjoy playing with as well. So it is.
It's not just that. It's also that we got into the NWL a little later than most. So most of the people that we know are already on teams, and it's hard to, try to find people that are free or still playing. So that kind of came into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So this was your third series as a team, correct?
Yes, I
Do you
think
feel
so.
you guys are getting stronger as you go? Do you think you're going to be competing in some serious intensive games coming up, or do you feel you're still missing a couple key components?
I think we're still finding ourselves as far as like filling in those couple of spots where we just don't really have someone set in stone. Because, like Pizza was saying, like when you don't have someone that's consistent in a certain role, and you kind of like finding someone new every time, you don't really like grow. Like you kind of like sit at the same stage of like building someone into your team. So like once we find, which I think we are progressing with, by the way, like finding those last couple of people that are going to be around and be consistent, that's when we're going to return to the former glory of the flock. But yeah, we're getting there, man.
Yeah, and then it's a lot of times it's hard to want to like put in the work with like new players. That's often another problem that you can run in, because
Yeah.
a lot of times it takes a lot of work, and it's at least me. I know me as a leader, and this is might be one of my downfalls. Is if I can trust you and like I know I can count on you, I will put in more work like into you than most people will. But at the same time, if I don't feel that, I'm very reluctant to like working with people, and that's
Yeah.
often very hard. And that's something that I've noticed. You like, especially before last Twin Cup, I don't know how you do it, but you do a very good job at cycling through players and sort of trying to see like what works the best for you. And it's pretty nice to see people doing that, because it's something that I'm not good at.
Yeah, and I hear you, man. It's mostly just the people, you know, like you got to find the right person, like down to like just getting along with them. And like you said, you have to find someone that wants to get better and wants to be part of the team. Like you can't get someone that wants to be the best hunter or the best FC. You want to have someone that makes the team the best. So that's what you got to search for. And when you find that, like you said, that's when someone you want to like work with until they're just the best they can be.
Yeah, and it makes it much more enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Any teams you're looking forward to playing coming up?
Let me think. I definitely would like to play Dark XD again.
I'd love to get another crack at them, man.
Yeah,
That'd be
we
great.
just kind of like, that was like our first game. We kind of like threw our team together, not taking away their wins by any means. I like those guys a lot, actually. We have like a fun little rivalry. They beat us, but I definitely would like to play them again now that we kind of have our team a little bit more situated. And I obviously want to play Sax's Guild again because they just like messed us up real good, and I know we can make it a lot closer than that. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, your past series, obviously your first series against Dark XD was a loss, but it was 1 point difference when it came down to points. And you go against Ugly Girls, and that series was not quite as close. But this series, you exerted dominance. Do you think, like, as a team, you guys just need to play more together to experience, like, not necessarily experience, but, just get the same rhythm of we're going to win. We're going to win by a huge margin, too.
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely practice comes into it, and synergy is obviously really important. It's just, with me and Matando, man, like I don't even have to talk to him, and I already know what he wants me to do or what I'm gonna do, and he already knows it before I say it. And that just takes a long time for you to get to that point. And we had that before the Twin Cup. We were playing for like 6 months, pretty much the same people, maybe 1 or 2 people we'd had to swap. But I think the last 3 months was the core 10 people, every pre-made, no matter what we were doing, and stuff like that. It just takes time, and you can't get upset. You can't get frustrated. You just have to keep going at it. And if you lose somebody, or they can't make it, or they drop out, or they don't fit, you just you have to brush it off, and you got to go to the next guy and keep searching, and then eventually you'll find it, man. They don't have to be, the best players in the bracket, but if they fit for our team and it works and we work well together, then that's all we really need.
Yeah, and today, I mean, if you look at your healing core, it was some of the best players in the bracket. It's crazy. Yeah, Matando, Zirin, Manizi, and Blueprint. I mean, if any healer core was made up of those 4 players, they're going to be doing extremely well as well. And I mean, if you guys stay together, I mean, it's going to be one heck of a team. I'm looking forward to see what you guys can do in the future.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Is there anything else?
Yeah,
you
thanks,
guys want
bro.
to say
Definitely.
before we close out? Shout outs to any players that played well that stood out on maybe on the other team and yours, or I mean, obviously you don't want to leave people out, but
Yeah. Shout out to Give Me Your Energy. You guys just gotta keep doing your thing. Like we were in the same boat as you like last week. It doesn't feel great, but you just gotta just keep going, man. Just keep building your team, talking to people, fixing errors. And, yeah, shout out to my team out the Mice. Yeah, shout out Pat. It was fun. Look forward to next week's games too. Maybe I'll get in some commentating or at least the pregame stuff. That's fun too. So looking forward to it.
All right, well, I think that's it for the night.
All right, guys. It was fun, man. Have a good one.
yeah, thanks for joining us. Again, we'll be doing more games, streaming more games next week, and obviously, if Mutando and Gankrex, if you guys are around, you should speak about commentating games if you're not playing. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, man. We'd love to. It'd be pretty cool.
Yep. So I think, yeah.